Today we're looking at the German Technology Museum in Berlin, but first let's look north to the Hamburger Bahnhof near today's Hauptbahnhof, which closed as a railway station in 1884. In 1906 the building was turned into a railway museum owned by the then Prussian State Railways, which later became the pre-war Deutsche Reichsbahn. After the Second World War, the museum found itself in an odd position, owned by the East German Deutsche Reichsbahn but within West Berlin. The museum was thus left to sit for a while until the collection was sold to West Germany in the 1980s and moved to today's Technology Museum. The Hamburger Bahnhof is now an art gallery. Today's Technology Museum is located within an old freight complex sandwiched between the approaches of the former Potsdamer, Anhalter and Dresdner Bahnhof. It includes 2 original roundhouses and turntables. The tracks from the museum are still connected to the mainline network, and the museum has a short section of railway where heritage trains can run, though unfortunately none were running on the day I was there.
So this whole area was a goods depot, a major goods depot and series of stations with also track connections leading into Anhalter Bahnhof and Potsdamer Bahnhof, and another short-lived station in the middle called Dresdner Bahnhof. These tracks are still here, and I think they are used for a little attraction train for the museum, which is not on today. But if you follow the tracks, it does eventually connect up with the mainline network. So I'm guessing what the trains do, there's a little platform just by the museum. I'm guessing they start there, shuttle right to the junction and back, which is what the trains at the Museum of Science and Industry used to do, until they obviously built the orbital cord, which cut right through the middle of it. But these ones still seem to connect up with the mainline network. And here there's just a park which they just run through. So I'm in the plane section at the moment, and now I'm done. I'm going to head over to the train section because I don't have all that much time here. I'm more interested in the trains than the planes. This is just a taster, by the way. There's a massive museum that I'm planning to dedicate a whole day to later on in the trip, about halfway between Frankfurt and Karlsruhe, known as the Schinsheim Transport Museum. I remember it well from my childhood. And it's basically like this. It's got sections of planes, trains and cars, but it's about 10 times the size of this. Anyway, as we say, to the trains. So the rail section of the museum is laid out a little bit like the Vasúti Museum in Budapest. It's basically centred around two of these turntables. You can see over there, that's the bit of track we saw before, and if you follow that you get to the platform where presumably you can catch the train when it's running, which it isn't today. There's another turntable just around there, which I'm going to go take a look at. There's also some sort of railway garden here. Awesome. So it's now about 5 o'clock. The museum itself closes at 5:30, but the rail section closes at 5. So I've just about managed to see, I think, pretty much everything. Might be a couple of corners I missed.